Okay, so in this video, we'll go over how to hook up the door stand. Now, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of this for a few reasons. One, you have to have a door strong enough to support the weight of something that's either somewhere between 27 and 34 pounds. Two, you have to find a door that's the correct size to fit the door hook. Third, you have to have enough space between the door and the frame for this part to fit in. And fourth, with any door, particularly if it's being used, opened, and closed quite a bit, that's going to put a lot of banging on the panel, which over time is not going to be safe for it. Now, if you have a door that you're just not utilizing very often, then that could work fine. You could also hook this up to the wall by using a heavy-duty picture frame mount, or by screwing a hook into a stud in the wall, and that will keep it very secure, and you don't have all the other issues that you would with the door. So let's go over the first couple things that we'll put together. First is you can go ahead and take these two loops, and these will simply screw in. It doesn't have to be tight, just snug. That's all you need. On the back side, you'll go ahead and place 4 of the white pegs in the back, and that you'll just be using the screw that'll slide in here. Sometimes it's a little bit of a tight fit, so you actually have to screw it in through the white peg first, and once you get it through all the way, then you can go ahead and screw it in here. And this will reduce any of the banging up against the door. Also, it allows air to have space to circulate to keep the panel cool. So we'll go back to the front. You have a couple ways to hook this up. If you just want to be able to treat kind of the top of your head down, many cases this will work just fine. So we'll simply snap in, and this can either hook onto the wall if you have either a hook or you have a heavy-duty picture frame mount, or it can hook up right to the door mount. So this is if your head was kind of right at this level, and then that's perfect. That's all you need. Now, if you want to have the option to raise and lower it, or if you want it to just be set at a different height, then you can use the pulleys that are in the bag as well. So you're going to have 2 of these. What you're going to want to do is take the part that has the locking mechanism, and that's going to go on each side. I prefer to have that locking mechanism on the outside. It's just easier to adjust than on the inside. So we'll take this here, and we'll lock one in here. We'll take the other one. We'll lock it in here. Now, I've already connected the 2. So what we'll do is have the loose ends off to the side. And then this end, one of them will go into the other. That can then hook onto the wall, or it can hook onto the door mount. So once we have this attached, then we can use that locking mechanism to raise or lower. Now, to do this, we're going to take this metal tab and we're going to push this down. That releases it. Now, we have to remember that this weighs a lot. All right, so you may very well have to have someone holding the weight of the panel while this gets either tightened or released. In all honesty, you don't want to be constantly raising and lowering it, because it does put a lot of pressure on the wall or on the door. And again, this is heavy. The real purpose of these pulley systems is so that you can put it down to the correct height for your needs. So if you're a shorter person, you can bring it down to that height. If you need to be sitting in a chair or a stool, you can bring it down and try to keep it at that height as often as possible. It's not really meant, again, to be constantly raising and lowering it. If you wanted to be able to get both your upper body and your lower body, then something like one of our stacked stands or wall stands may be more appropriate. And then you can get the entire body all at once. So we'll go ahead and find a door that this works for, and then I'll show you exactly how it looks. So here we have it set up on the door. Now, even on this door here, I can't quite close it all the way because there's not space right here. So that's the difficulty of it. So we have the door hook set up here. We have one of the pulley systems with the metal tab on the outside. Same this, metal tab outside. We have one of them going in to the other carabiner. Now it's all set up. Now at this height right here is right about the same height that this would be. So if you're somewhere around 5.5 feet tall, this might be the one that works perfect for you if you want it right at the top of your head. So now when we want to raise or lower this, we're gonna push this down, but I can't just push it down. It won't go unless I release the weight and the tension of this. So I'll have to grab this, pull it up. Now I can pull this down and release. This is where it gets tough because I got to keep on switching sides and slowly bring it down. And then I got to go over to the other side. So again, the point is bring it to the right height for you and try to keep it there as much as you can. If I want to raise it, again, I'm going to push this down and pull up. Now, when we're pulling up, we don't need to bring this down. We can just lift and it'll click into place. But again, we got to do it both sides, slowly. Now, if you're a taller person, the door may not work for you. I'm 6 feet tall, and if I have this pulled all the way up, it's going to be at about the right height for me. But if you're taller than 6 foot, this may not be the best option. This is where putting this in a stud on the wall with a hook that's strong enough to support up to about 35 pounds plus more weight, because as you're pulling this up, that's adding weight to it. That may be the best option for you. So you're going to have your white pegs on the back, protecting against the wall, allowing airflow, and you're going to have it plugged in to the wall. And so then you can easily reach to the back, turn it on, turn it off, and then you can work the display.